What's the latest on Colt and your quarterback situation in general?
Colt has a neck sprain, and he's getting tests done right now. And we're going to have some specialists look at it and find out the exact severity of it. And then once I get all that information, then we'll make a decision at the quarterback position. Not until I get all the info, though.
Were those additional tests to the ones this morning, or that
He got some tests, and then we're just having a specialist look at those tests. Yes.
You says if Colt can't go, would it be Robert or Kirk?
It'd be Robert right now.
If Colt is healthy, would he be back in?
Well, that's hard to say right now. I don't know how healthy he is, so I'm just going to wait before I even make any assumptions or conclusions, and until I get all the tests back from the doctor.
Going back and watching the tape offensively, what did you see from Colt and what needs to improve?
Well, he was put in some tough situations. You know, we continue to punish ourselves with holding calls, false starts, mistargeting a run, poor technique from time to time, and we leave ourselves in third down and too long. And we're not very good on third down and long, obviously. And then in the second half, when it became a one-dimensional game, we're not good enough to overcome those right now at this time. So, unfortunate. You know, it wasn't all on Colt, obviously. He had some issues with protection. Our backs missed a few. Our line missed one or two. And it was a tough day for a quarterback.
You guys were only down by 9 and really went away from the run game. Even the Rams said they felt like you guys gave up faster than what they expected. Why did you all not make more of an effort in the second half to run the ball?
Well, we had the ball in the second half, 3 plays. You know, the first drive, the Rams had it for 8 minutes. We got the ball, we punted after 3 plays and tried to run it on that drive. And then they got the ball and scored to make it 17-0. So really in the second half, when it was 6-0, we had 3 plays. Next time we got the ball back, it was 17-0. So there was really no chance to get the run game going.
With the production not there on offense, could you envision starting Robert even if Colt is healthy?
You know, I want to see how he's doing first. Like I said, I don't want to really rush into any decision at this time anyway. You know, nobody else has to announce any starters on a Monday press conference, so I don't think I should be any different. So I'm going to wait and see how until I get all the information on the quarterback.
Jay, about the London Fletcher Hazlitt stuff, essentially he called into question the organization choosing to retain Jim and therefore you as part of his comments. Do you take specific offense to that, just being that, I mean, it almost seemed like he was saying that you only took him on because you guys had a relationship in the UFL?
Well, I think I took him on for a couple different reasons. I took him on because I think he's a good football coach and a good person, and he's had success as a football coach in the NFL. He's been in it for a long time. He knew these players that we had coming back and was confident in what he could do moving forward. But as far as what London said, it's unfortunate. You know, I'd like to think that Redskins should be good to Redskins no matter the situation, and that's just unfortunate. But, you know, moving forward, we haven't been playing very good anyway, so shots, like I said yesterday, will be fired at a lot of people. And I'm included, obviously, and that's just the nature of the business when you're 3-10. D coordinators, quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, GMs, coaches. We get the criticism, and we deserve it. We're 3-10.
Jay, go ahead.
Jay, you said that for this team, they need to play the best football of their careers. They need to play for their jobs. Do you feel like you and your staff need to coach the best 3 games of your own careers here for your jobs?
We try that every week, man. We try to motivate these guys and make this game important. Like I said yesterday, we think it is important. I think we got players in here who are going to come to work and compete. Anytime you got a team across the field from you that came into your house and beat you pretty handily like the Giants did, that should be motivation enough as a man and as a football player and as a coach to go out there and try to get some payback if we can. So the way we coach should not change based on our record. We always coach. We are very committed to what we do, very passionate for what we do, and that will never change.
Jay, I know you said there are a number of position groups that are at fault for the protection issues, running backs, tight ends, offensive line. But when you look at the numbers, they're pretty staggering. It's like 5, 6, 7, 6 in terms of sacks. Have you been able to identify, like, is there any common theme in there as to what's going on?
Yeah, usually it's, the good thing is, if it is a good thing, it's usually not structural, where a guy hat on a hat, it's just those hats are getting beat by the other hats, unfortunately. So we just got to do a better job with our technique, our fundamentals. Roy missed a safety on the blitz. He just lunged. He can't lunge on a little guy. He just avoided him and made a heck of a rush. It was a good play by him, and just poor technique by Roy. We had another one where we slid the protection, and our back missed on the outside edge rusher, and the ball should have been possibly thrown. So there's a lot of different issues. Like I said, sometimes the quarterbacks hold on the ball too long. Sometimes it's a fundamental issue. Every now and then it's a hell of a rush by the defensive player, which has happened also.
Coach, a lot of the players say it's not the coach's fault, it's their fault that they can't execute, and that's why they can't win games. We've heard that over several weeks. Do you have any answer at all for why your players cannot execute better?
No, we are doing the best we can to get these guys prepared mentally. And then come game day, we're just getting out executed, in all three phases yesterday. Special teams, offense, and defense, they took it to us. It was good coaching by them and well-played game by their players. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and obviously they just played better than us. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for why we're not executing as good as we think they should, but some of that has to do with the team we're playing, or who's executing at a high level. We just got to figure out a way to get our guys in better positions so they can execute better, and try to just keep coaching them, and hopefully when something good happens, we can build off of it. Right now, we had nothing good happen in that game. Offensively, we just third down and long punt. It's 6-0 at the halftime before you know it, and then they have a 9-minute drive, and it's 9-0. Then we have to punt again, and it's 17-0. There's nothing, no big plays, no sparks, no energy, really, unfortunately, that really got us going. So, we got to get something going in a positive way to get our fans into it and get the players get a little bit more bounce in their step, and we just haven't had that.
So in your mind, it's not that they don't understand, they just for what it can't do.
We just got beat. We just got beat.
Jay,
Jay. Go ahead. Yesterday, you were preaching positivity, that you need to be positive, the team needs to be positive. But when you're 3-10, and like you just said, nothing is going in your favor, how do you do that?
Well, I think you still have to come in with a great passion and will to win, and I think our guys understand that. There's a lot of teams out there right now that aren't playing for playoffs or Super Bowl right now. That doesn't mean they're not going to come to work. They're still going to come to work, and our players are still going to come to work. They're very committed. They're good guys, and they want to see this season end on a positive note. I mean, we're all embarrassed right now. We're not happy with the way the season's gone, but we still do have 3 division games left, and there's a lot to play for in my mind. Coaches' jobs, players' jobs, all our jobs are always on the line every time we step on a field, and that's the way you have to approach it to keep yourself motivated and hungry.
Coach, what have you seen in the last couple of weeks from Robert in the backup role in practice that gives you confidence that he's the guy to go to if Colt is not available? How do you think he's improved? How do you think he'll play?
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll play well. Hopefully he's taking a step back and taking everything in and just continue to learn the position and learn about the concepts that we're trying to run, and hopefully he'll have a little bit more of a confident air about him when he jumps in there. And there's less indecision is what we're hoping for. So he's more decisive, and if he is playing and pulls a trigger and just plays. We just got to get him to relax and play and have some fun and lead the team if he's the guy to do it.
Have you seen that in practice though?
A little bit, but he's mainly doing cards. Scout team cards at practice. So we're not doing a lot of him getting a whole lot of work with the ones. So he will get some on Wednesday, obviously, and Thursday. So we'll see how he's doing from there.
Jay, a couple of weeks ago when you made the switch to Colt, you had kind of mentioned that you needed to evaluate the other 2 quarterbacks, meaning McCoy and Cousins. Have you seen enough of Cousins in what he played for us to think that you have a pretty good book on him moving forward, and we won't see him this year? Or how does that?
That's not true at all. I could see myself playing with Kirk, no doubt about it. I like Kirk. I think he did some good things when he was in there. Obviously, the turnovers and third downs that really plagued us, plagued him pretty hard. And like I said, I just took him out in the second half against Tennessee just to try to see what Colt could do, and he did well. And unfortunately, he hadn't got another opportunity. But that doesn't mean he's not going to get another one this year. Does not mean that at all.
Seems like there's been, just a lot of frustration, obviously, with the losing, and feels like Groundhog Day up here at times. Is there anything you're seeing from the team, the players, that would lead you to believe that a turnaround can be imminent, could be around the corner?
Well, you like to see better play, obviously, than what we're playing. I do think that defensively we did some good things. They ran around to the ball, obviously, did some good things with some young guys in there. And there's some positives, but not a whole lot to take out of yesterday's game, unfortunately. But just from being around these guys, I feel like we have the type of kids in here, type of guys that have strong character and strong will and want to get this thing turned around. We just got to do a better job of putting them in better positions to make plays, and when the plays are out there to be had, we just got to make some plays somewhere, somehow, some way to try to right the ship and get some energy and some confidence going with this group. Right now we're lacking in my opinion, we're lacking in fundamental confidence. We just got to get some pep in our step and play, have some fun, and it starts with making plays.
Yesterday, when Kerrigan got his sack down near the goal line, the ball's rolling on the ground, and Chris Baker is celebrating, not even aware that the ball is there. Is that kind of play that you're disappointed in, and did you talk to him about that?
Yeah, we're disappointed in that. That was addressed today, yes. But obviously he didn't see the ball out. That's no excuse. We should act like we've been there before. But that's an unfortunate circumstance. It's happened before. Guys get excited when they get sacks, but we got to make sure we're aware of the game situation and where the ball is.
Mike just referenced it feels like Groundhog Day. With that, what are we going to see different over the next 3 weeks from you guys, from a coaching perspective and from your team? What are you guys specifically concentrating on so the next 3 games look different than the rest of the season?
Well, as we can concentrate on now is getting our guys ready to play for the Giants. That's all we do on a week-to-week basis, man. We study our opponent, and then we try to figure out ways to get our players in the best situations possible to succeed. That's all we do. We're going to work on the Giants very diligently, take a lot of pride in our effort, working and get these players prepared, and hopefully they'll take pride in preparing for the Giants because, we obviously know what happened to us last time they came here, and we got to play well.
Coach, when you took this job a year ago, a lot of the questions centered around the aura or the environment around things here in Ashburn. And I remember back then you said, listen, I'm ready to take on this challenge. But all of the stuff that happens around this football team on a weekly basis, is it more of a drain than even you expected?
It's a little bit more than I expected, yes. That's the question. But I understand that there are stories to be had. And if you look around every corner, you can find a story about somebody negatively if you want to. We try to stay positive and upbeat, and I try not to let the stories get to me or this team. And we try to nip them in the bud and address them in our meetings and move forward and try to stay together as a locker room. But that's just the way it is, man. I've learned here. It's just a lot of possibilities for guys that try to get their name in a headline with a story controversy. So we just got to continue coaching these guys, and hopefully they just worry about their job, coming to work and playing a game, and not worrying about Twitter and the newspaper or radio shows.
Jay,
It's okay.
You missed a moment. You had, thank you. You had said last week that, Deshaun is not of great value unless he can go full speed, I think, which we all understood. So where is he in that process? Did you miss him Sunday? Do you expect we'll see him again this season?
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully he'll play this week. We miss all our guys that are out. It's very difficult. You go out and get a high, market free agent like that who's can really stretch the field vertically. It hurts when he's not there. But, hopefully he'll get back to full strength by, Thursday or Friday so he can run, and we'll see him Sunday. But we'll wait and see on that.
Sorry, Jay, just last one. You've been pretty open that you, Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder are all on the same page about who you want at quarterback. But is there any reason, in your opinion, why Bruce or Dan hasn't come out publicly to show that they support these decisions that are being made? Is there a reason why they're not talking?
No, I think during a season you like to have one voice, and that's the head coach. In the off season, I'm sure we'll hear a lot from Bruce when we're talking about the draft and all that stuff, and he can critique, the performance of all the players and all the coaches. You'll hear about it when the season's over. But during the season, I think as an organization, you'd like to have one voice, and that would be, unfortunately, the head coach right now.
When you were talking about telling guys not to worry about the press, worry about Twitter and stuff like that, have you told them to get off of Twitter? Robert hasn't tweeted since Thanksgiving. Normally he was on there all the time.
No, I'd like to think I could carry that much weight, but some guys I think get paid on Twitter nowadays, so it's hard to tell them not to make money. But we just try to be careful with what they type on there. I've read a couple of the Twitter things that they write in some team meetings from time to time, just to let them know that I'm reading the suckers. But they're so far, I think they've been pretty good, with a few exceptions.
Last injury question, Roy's toe, any update on that? And then what's your level of optimism, I guess, for Keenan Robinson, Brandon Merriweather, some of the other guys that were out?
Yeah, we have to wait and see on all those guys. Roy's toe, he's had some history with that toe in the past, and it's the big toe, so it's probably going to keep him out at least a week, I would think. But he went to see a specialist, a foot specialist, and we'll get a better opinion and knowledge of where he is. But those things are tough on backs. All players, really, those turf toe injuries type things, those are hard to recover from in a short period of time. And then Merriweather, same issue, really. It's turf toe also. Not quite a major turf toe, but when you're a defensive back, you do a lot of backpedaling and changing direction. If your big toe's not working, it's going to be very difficult, but we'll see. And then Keenan, like I said, it's a pain tolerance thing, and you just got to get his flexibility back, and if he doesn't have it, then he obviously will be out too.
Thanks, Coach.
All righty.